We have heard about punishments like imprisonment for a period or for life and even hanging the offenders. There are many horrifying, inhumane punishments that are carried out across the world. Let's see about them. Flogging. It is an act of beating a person with a whip or rod. Usually the offender's back or foot is whipped for a specific number of times depending on the crime committed. Often carried out in public to give warning to others. Flogging is a punishment for crimes like adultery, homosexualism, insulting Islam, teasing women, showing affection in public, drinking or selling alcohol, talking ill about the government in social media. Flogging is followed in the following countries: Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Sudan. Caning. Similar to flogging, caning is beating a person with a cane. The strikes from caning results in serious blisters. The offender is usually stripped naked, and then whacked on buttocks. The amount of lashes depends on the crime committed. Caning is a punishment for the following crimes: kidnapping, robbery, drug trafficking, destruction of public property, rioting and sexual abuse. Caning is followed in countries like Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia and some African countries. Dismemberment or amputation. It is an act of removing a person's arm, hand, leg or foot. The offender may or may not be conscious during the process. Cross amputation is an act of removing a right hand and left foot or a left hand and right foot. Dismemberment is a punishment for armed robbery. Followed in countries that follow Sharia law like Saudi Arabia, Iran and Sudan. Stoning. It is an act of throwing stones continuously at a person until he or she dies. Majority of the convicts are women. Stoning is a punishment for adultery. Followed in countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, United Arab Emirates, Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, and Nigeria. Beheading. An act of removing the offender's head, done in public by a trained swordsman. Beheading is a punishment for crimes like rape, murder, apostasy, and drug trafficking. Followed in countries like Saudi Arabia, Benin, Yemen, and Qatar. Blinding. It is based on the old principle, an eye for an eye. An eye of the offender is removed. This type of punishment is given to the offenders who caused others to lose their eyesight. Followed in countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Sudan. Electrocution means death by passing electric current through the body. It is a punishment for crimes like murdering and other serious offenses. Followed in United States of America. Imprisonment or death for minor crimes. Followed in countries like Vietnam, Bali, Malaysia, and Singapore. Citizens or tourists who are caught with even a small quantity of drugs, drug abuse, etc. 3 generation of imprisonment. It is a punishment for crimes like criticizing the government, treason, prostitution. Followed in North Korea.